What's going on, Shady people? ShadyPenguinn here, welcoming you back to Talk to May. Today is May 8th when I'm uploading this, when I'm recording this, and we're going to be super light yet again. I know yesterday was a semi-light topic, but you guys seem to really enjoy it, talking about YouTube and my opinions on it. We're not going to be talking about that today. Today, we're going to be talking about Pokemon. Now, as some of you guys, as a lot of you guys probably know, I love Pokemon, and as even more of you guys probably know, there are so many rumors flying around about Pokemon for Switch, and one of these rumors that came through was during a quote-unquote leak of E3 of Nintendo's presentation. Actually, I think it's of just E3. I'm going to link it in the description down below. It's probably not going to be the original post because originally this was posted on 4chan and then to Reddit and now to GameFAQs. And I think I think I have the GameFAQs link. I'm not sure. Check the description if you want to see the full thing because they detail a bunch of potential leaks, huge quotation marks, because they were actually already incorrect about Nintendo's internet service. They were correct when it was getting revealed though. So whenever I've seen a leak list like this, I always take it as just, there's probably some facts there, but there's probably a lot of not facts. I'm kind of the conspiracy theorist that I think that it's somewhat of an inside job where they leak some truth with a lot of fakes so that people just start talking. And I think it's a good business strategy personally to leak some truth with some fakes, with the majority fakes. So I think a lot of that list is inaccurate and is not true. But I think there's definitely some weight. Regardless of that, the big Pokemon rumor that came from this leak list was that Pokemon Switch is going to be Kanto redone, revisited, something different in a different light. So that got me thinking, what would I do? What would I do if I could tell Nintendo directly what they should do with the next game? Now, as I'm sure most comment is going to be, well, you should just make a new generation. We don't want remakes. We just want a new generation, new Pokemon. And I'm kind of the belief, I don't really believe that we will be getting a Generation 8 game this year, no matter what. I think it's possible to get it next year, whether that's early, mid, fall. I don't care what quarter next year. I would just be super surprised if there is going to be a Generation 8 game this year, 2018. I think the Generation 7 just, not just started, but I don't know, the anime still has some things to do, and I feel like it would just be weird. At the same time, now that I'm saying it out loud, Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon were really just a rehash of Sun and Moon, so they pretty much didn't have to put any work into that game. I don't mean that disrespectfully, but it's a lot less work than creating a whole new generation. So while that was happening, they could have already been working on the next generation. That's completely possible for sure. But I'm still of the belief, and I've always been, that Generation 7 will not, or Generation 8 will not come in 2018. It's just, I'll be pleasantly surprised. I will be happy to be wrong, but I really think that it's going to be 2019 or later for the next generation of Pokemon. However, with this little rumor that's come about that Pokemon's going to be revisiting Kanto on the Switch, I think it makes a lot of sense, which is exactly why it could just be a load of crap that someone pulled out of their butt, because it just makes logical sense. Hey, listen, Nintendo got to see the success of Pokemon Go when it first launched. Everyone loved. They had millions and millions and millions and millions of players all in love with Generation 1 Pokemon. Why not take the Switch, the hottest console right now, and dump Generation 1 Pokemon onto it? I think that's a brilliant marketing strategy. Honestly, I think it's smart. I think it's even smarter than, I think it will sell more Switches than a new Pokemon game. Because I think the people that are going to buy a new Pokemon game either A, already own a Switch, or B, can't afford a Switch. So I don't know if they're all of a sudden going to be able to, bam, let's buy a Switch. The other thing we have to talk about is the fact that a Pokemon game is going to be $60 if it's a brand new Pokemon game. So that is already pretty scary. But I think that releasing Generation 1 in some fashion, in some different way, is really smart from a marketing strategy in order to sell more Switches. That's just what I think. There are more people are going to know Bulbasaur and Charmander and Squirtle more than they're going to know insert new 3 Pokemon here. As far as mass population, as we've seen by Pokemon Go's Fnatic success last year. With that being said, and using that as a springboard, so for this dream video, and of course, in the comments, leave suggestions for Talk to Me. We'll get heavier tomorrow, but this is just a casual gaming video I wanted to do because this is what I wanted to do today. I'm doing a video every day, so I might as well do what I want when I want to do it. But leave your comments down below for those topics, and also jump into the conversation. What would you do if you were in charge of the Pokemon game, the first Pokemon game on Switch? So for me, using the fact that we're going to be in Kanto as a springboard. So we're going to say, yes, we're in Kanto. We're going to be in Kanto just because that's where the rumor is from that leak list, quote unquote. I don't consider this a leak at all. I just consider it a rumor because because they were right about the day of the Nintendo reveal on their internet service, their online service, there's some grounding for there might be some truth in this list somewhere. There's a lot of lies in the list, obviously. Fire Emblem, they just use synonyms for the new title, the new Fire Emblem, and what have you. Like I said, check the list out yourself, be your own judge. But regardless, just a fun speculation, dreamy video based on this somewhat rumor that came about. So anyway, with the idea that we're in Kanto, there's two things that I would want to see done 100%. Like, one, I really think they should do it like Pokemon Generations, where you can go to any gym leader, and based on your current number of badges, that gym leader will have a specific team. I think that would make the most sense. They said they were taking inspiration from Zelda in an interview way back. They love the idea of an open world concept and like no holds barred. The only area it gets tricky, obviously, are with wild enemies, but Zelda was able to do it. So I think that Nintendo could go take some tips from them and be like, hey, how can we not force our players to make routes so linear because, level gets higher, level gets higher, level gets higher, level gets higher. And how can we do it so that it's just, and you could just program it where as playtime goes on, the wild Pokemon get stronger just because you've been playing more, and those Pokemon are also growing in the wild as your journey starts. I think that would be so freaking cool. Because then it's like normally on Route 1, it's Pidgeys, and then you come back after playing for like 20 hours and it's Pidgeotos, and then you come back and it's Pidgeots. That would be so awesome. Obviously, they would have to do something where it's active gaming, not just leaving your game on, because then obviously you could just do some cheeky stuff. I don't know. Actually, I don't even care, because Zelda didn't care if players exploited their stuff, and that's the beauty of it. Instead of trying to create the exact experience you want, let the players create the experience they want. That would be amazing. So I don't know. That's an idea that I had. Of course, with that idea of wild Pokemon just growing as time goes on, obviously, you could also have weaker Pokemon as well, because the population resets. That Pidgeotto eventually has a child and it's just a baby Pidgey. That'd be really cool. I know age doesn't correlate directly to level, because level's just about your battling, but it's just a rough concept that I came up with literally on the fly while I was talking about this video. The actual concept that I was focusing on was just the fact that gyms can be done in any order. I think that would be really cool. Kind of like how in Breath of the Wild, you could do any temple you want, any order, any shrine you want, any order, and then certain items made certain shrines more possible or easier. That was really, really cool. I would love it if they did something like that. That would be one way to really switch up Generation 1. I think another really incredible thing that they will not do, because I don't exactly know why they won't do it, but they won't do it. If they are giving us a game, Pokemon Switch, and it's Generation 1, I really wish, just take my money. Just take my money. Give us Kanto. Let us do Kanto. And then a few months later, give us I don't care if it's full price to DLC. I personally will pay $60 if you just let me download Johto. Just let me download it. It's guaranteed. And if you want more sales, you just make it $40 instead of $60. But I guarantee you, people will buy it. People will buy it. It'll be amazing. And then you just do a system where, okay, well, all your Kanto Pokemon, you store them, they stay in Kanto until you finish the Johto, and then bam. Or like you say, when you're leaving, you can only take level 5s and below. So you can technically breed a team that you want in Kanto and then bring it with you to Johto. That would be so cool if they did something of that nature. And you could just constantly have DLC where, okay, get to the next region, get to the next region, get to the next region, until you have them all fleshed out. I think that'd be awesome. I know they won't do it. I understand it. It's just a dream of mine that I would love a game where I could play through all the regions. And in the age of DLC, it just makes it seem like it's a no-brainer. Just do it. Just do it. But they won't. Other thing they could do, and this is something obviously as a competitive player I would be clamoring for, is just build Pokemon Showdown into your game. Just that alone can be DLC as well if you want. I don't care. Just give us a game, even if it's just its own game. Give us Pokemon Stadium, but let us make the teams from scratch. That would be ridiculous. You know how successful that would be? And then if you want further money on a game like that, just give us DLC backgrounds, give us DLC music, give us the ability to play in different arenas. I'll pay $60 for a Pokemon Showdown simulator. 100%. 100%. You do. I don't even care if it's with the Pokemon. No, I do care if it's with the Pokemon Showdown graphics. But there's just so much opportunity with the Switch, and there's just this money sitting there waiting to be made by Nintendo, and these fans sitting there waiting to be pleased by Nintendo. And just because they do one thing doesn't mean they can't do another. If they gave us Pokemon Stadium 3 in the fashion of hey, you can create your teams from scratch and go online and battle people. If they did that, it's not going to take away from the fact when they release Generation 8. It's not. I'm still going to buy and play Generation 8. Make it a good story, make it a good time, and I'll play it. That's kind of with the idea of us going to Kanto. I would love it if it was done in a way where it will be built upon, or at the very least, if it's done in a more open world like feel where you're not so linear and getting your hand held throughout. I think that's the biggest, best change they can make if they're going to revisit this. Because let's be honest, we've had red and blue, we've had yellow, we've had leaf green, we've had fire red, then we had heart gold and soul silver where we revisited Kanto. We've been to Kanto so many times that they really do need to shake it up pretty hardcore in order to make it worth it. Or at the very least, you say, yeah, you're starting Kanto and you're going to Johto, and then more regions coming soon. Like, oh my gosh, the amount of toes that would curl across the world would be insane. So many socks would be ripped. I don't know. That's my thoughts on it. It's a really short video, obviously, because there's not much to talk about. These are my dreams and aspirations of the Pokemon Switch game. If it has to be in Kanto, I want it to be like, I really want it to be like Zelda, where it's more open world and less linear. Or I want to know that I can download Johto in a few months. That's what that would be a dream come true as a Pokemon game where you actually get to travel between regions. And with DLC, it just seems it's so within our reach. It's so right there. But I don't know. We'll see what they do. With that, though, I want to thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please join the discussion in the comment section down below regarding Pokemon on the Switch. And if that doesn't interest you, just let me know what you want to hear me talk about tomorrow for the next Talk to May. With that, though, I'm going to get the hashtag out of here. Have yourselves a fantastic day, but above all else, keep it shady.